Hello, welcome guys to the real life projects. And in this series, I'm talking about a personal project of mine known as Wallp. In the Wallp, what is, as you can see on the screen itself, Wallp is a simple wallpaper application. It is going to change a new wallpaper every day for the users, and a wallpaper is going to be different for desktop or mobile devices. So yeah, for mobile, it's going to be a vertical. Desktop, it's going to be a horizontal. Simply. Okay, so let's jump to the code and see how it's made. The first part I'm going to, in this video itself, in the first part, I'm actually going to talk about the backend. The backend is actually quite simpler, but yeah, let's look into it. So I have used Bun.js for it. And once I initialize by Bun, most of the files are created by Bun itself, not these, but yeah, the Bun log file, the package JSON and everything like that. Once it's done, I will jump directly to the index file, the ones I have worked with. I have to see few things here and there because this project I have done on a very long time ago. I have not completed it and I have actually started working on it again. Okay, yeah. So let's see one thing after the other. Okay, I'm using Hono here. Hono.js is basically, let me show you what is Hono.js as well. It is similar like Express.js, and it is a very new framework. It's very light, very fast, and it just for with Bun, it actually works quite good. So I have used it since Express is very old. We need new frameworks for this generation, and yeah, I believe Hono is a good one. Hono has a very good support across the community, and I have seen it personally that it works quite good. So yeah, it's better to use Hono at this moment. It is not as good as Express, let me tell you very frankly, because there are not a lot of things that is not available with Hono that are available out of the box with Express. Since Express is so old, many people are so much relied on it that they have created a whole community, whole lot of plugins for it. With Hono, there are not. That doesn't mean it's not ready for production. That simply means that it doesn't have that much support as of now, but it is growing day by day. Okay, so very simply, we have added a new app from Hono, and we have also added a logger so we can see all the routes, all the stack traces basically. This logger is available from Hono logger itself. Then we have set up course. Course is very important for us so that we know from if when we are getting calls from our website and whether we have to allow it or not. And a very simple thing, I have added the course for all the paths and allowed method. Currently allowed method is going to be get, because the only thing that is currently I am concerned about is that there is going to be a single daily call, and that daily call is a get one. I don't have other things as of now, but yeah, in future there is going to be a lot of other options. So yeah, we will change it. And yeah, I have hard coded this variable as of now, which is also not good. Again, we'll change it down the line. Okay. Then I have connected to the MongoDB itself. So the MongoDB is going to contain all the parts of the images. The images are going to be stored in a separate service. And currently I have used Cloudflare for it. Later on, I will use some other S3 services for it. Okay, so let me show you the Mongo. The Mongo file, it's in, I think, utils. Yeah. In the utils folder, I have created 3 folders: models, routes, and utils. In the utils folder, I have added a Mongo file, and it's nothing but it is using the Mongoose package, Mongoose node package, and it's doing simply mongoose connect bun.environment.mongo URL. So how I get this? This is a one way of getting the environment variables, like we do that process.env.r variable. Similarly, we do that with bun.env.variable, and we get the typings for it. How we can get the typings? I have created another file known as bun.ts, and in this I have declared a module like declare module bun and this interface of the environment, so that I can get very simpler typings with it. And okay, sorry, going back to the utils Mongo, and yeah, very simply, just simply connecting it to it and showing that okay, it's connected. Okay, jumping back to the index file, I have also set up an authentication. This authentication is actually needed for me to add new images to the MongoDB. So there is a, for the path auth slash, there is a bearer authentication with a token. That token is going to be available from the environment itself. So whenever I send a request from Postman or in any other service, I have to provide a beer token, and that token is going to match this one. Only then I'm allowed to add new images. So yeah, layer of authentication for myself. Then I have set up two routes. One is a daily route and one is an insert route. Before going that, let me talk about the last default routes. So there are the most important is the health route, which is simply just going to show whether the server is working or not. So I have done it on get and post slash and slash help. So this is a health check, nothing more than that, and it's returning c.json. So this async c and all this thing, this complete what you are seeing is, it is different from Express. It's a Hono way. When you go to the Hono.js and you see how it's done, very simple. It's very simple to handle. And the C is nothing but context. This is a context, Hono context. And when I returning c.json, what it's simply saying is that, okay, send the response back in JSON format. And yeah, in that way, it's quite simpler for us. And then for all other parts which doesn't match this route daily, route insert or this health check, we are going to show not found. Quite simple. Finally, we are just exporting our default port for our Hono. And then there is going to be a fetch. This app.fetch is again, app is from Hono itself. So app.fetch. So this index.js file, it basically export and tells to the Bun that, okay, you have to listen to the Hono calls. So this is an active server, not a passive one. Okay, jumping to the routes themselves. So we have two routes, route daily and route insert. Route insert is doing nothing but there is a post call, Hono post, Hono with Hono. I am doing a post call of auth insert. I have already added the authentication outside. As you can see in all the authentication auth slash star calls, there is going to be authentication by default. So, okay, so whenever I send any call to this, it needs to be authenticated. Okay, then I am passing the body, c.request.json. It is a Hono format, Hono way to do things to get the JSON. Once I get the body, I am just inserting it into the MongoDB itself. So let me show you the model first, the model of the Mongoose model. And that Mongoose model, this is the schema of the Mongoose model. If you're unaware of what Mongoose is, go Google search Mongoose. Mongoose is basically an adapter for Mongo. It is an adapter, right? It is called adapter. Yeah, I think it is called adapter, or maybe an yeah, object modeling or whatever. So it basically provides a boilerplate or outside kind of a logic, easy logic for handling all the MongoDB related things for us, like the schemas and all that, because schema by default, the schema part doesn't exist in MongoDB because Mongo by default is schemaless. But many of the times we want to enforce some certain type of schema so that all our things are oriented the way we want them to. So yeah, Mongoose help us with that, and there are lots of other features that are available with Mongoose. So yeah, do check out. Mongoose is kind of a de facto standard for if you want to use MongoDB. Okay, with the schema, what type of schema I want? I want a path, the path of the image itself. I'm not taking the complete path. I am actually leaving out the CDN or the URL, the S3 URL or the host of the S3 URL itself out, because that is going to be provided in an environment variable in the website itself, in the web client itself. I'm only just adding the path. Why so? Because if I ever want to change the S3 storage itself to some other service, or maybe move it to a different bucket or something like that, it's going to be very simpler for me to change it all across, right? Because if I have hard coded all the values here in the path itself, if I hard coded all the host itself, then I have to manually change each entry, and that is going to be troublesome, lot of trouble. So yeah, the good thing is only specify the path, the folders, the folder structure where I'm actually saving the image itself, and the host should be in an environment variable which you can change anytime you want. And there is going to be orientation. Orientation is true or false. I think true is for desktop and false is for mobile. it can be opposite. Right now I'm a little finicky on the details, but anyhow. Then date use, it's simply just going to specify on which date it's going to be used. By default, it's null. And finally, the timestamp, it is created and updated at nothing more than that. And this type for the typing, for the easy typing, anywhere else, I have just added these things are basically similar. And this is again Mongo's way to exporting a schema. Okay, jumping back to the routes, I think the insert one. Yeah, so the model image that we got from the model itself. This is a schema that the mongoose schema that we got. And in that we have a utility function known as insert many. So that what I've done is that in the body itself, I can provide multiple images and it is going to pass each of them. And I'm going to provide two things in it. One is the elements, all the element paths, and one is the orientation. So with the paths, I'm adding a map. Why map? Because it is going to convert it into a format, the mongoose format that we have previously seen, which is going to take images daily, and then there is going to be the orientation and the file name itself. Quite simple, and orientation will contain the orientation. In this way, we can insert many images at once. And finally, I'm just returning c.json like success true. Nothing fancier in this. And in the route daily, the actual get call that is going to fetch today's image. In that, there is going to be a daily get route. The first thing is going to be we are getting the today's time. How we are getting this? This is going to be a time utility. So if you check in there in utils, I have added a time file, and I'm using movement.js. Movement is deprecated as of now. I would suggest you use datefns or many other libraries are available for it. But yeah, it's simple. Many times simple thing is better. So yeah, I have used movement, but again, since it's deprecated, it's better to use some other libraries. Okay, for today, very simple movement.utc. You can check all these this movement class and see all these utility functions that are available with the movement class to make your date parsing quite easy. Movement is at one point of time, movement was the best library out there to parsing dates. Even it is today. Even if it's deprecated, it still work flawlessly. But yeah, there are good libraries available now and you should use those. So what we are doing is that we are asking the movement to first format our date in the UTC format. Then after it has done the UTC format, I only want in it a certain format known as YYYYMMDD. So, okay, it is going to first convert it into UTC so that it doesn't take the local time. It is going to take the UTC time. And then I'm formatting it in this format. So, it is going to, this is going to return me the current date in this formatted string. All right. So, jumping back to the route daily, I got the today's date. And also in the request query, I'm taking the orientation itself. So whether it's true or false, I take the orientation. And once I get the orientation with the model image that we have talked about earlier, with the model image, I'm finding one image only. And in that one image, what I'm looking at is that, okay, return me an image where the date used is of today and the orientation is as given. As simple as that. But there can be a chance that that image is not available because maybe an image was not used today. And by default, as we have seen in the models itself, let me take you back to the models. By default, it's null. So if it's not null, I'm going to return it. But if it's going to be null, which is the first time when in a new date, whenever first time a user is going to access it, it's going to be null. In that case, what I'm doing is that I'm going to find the first available entry where the orientation matches the one we have given and the date use is null. In that case, I am finding it. I am updating that date to today. So I'm doing both the things. I'm finding that item and I'm also updating at the same time. Once I've done that, I will get that image and I will return that image path. As simple as that. Right? So if we jump back to the top, if that image is available, if that image is available. So this is not image. If image is not available, then we are finding and updating. But if it is available, we are directly giving its path. And finally, we are retaining the image path that can be used by the website itself. And that index.js, yeah, pretty much that is the backend part of this web application wallpaper. And in the next upcoming video, I'm going to talk about the front end part of what is already done. And even in this, you can see that a simple way thing is done, like the image is showing, there is logo, there's other things, the like history, stock apps about what I'm going to implement in the future. Maybe I will remove all these for now. And then there's been download button. It is currently not working, but yeah, it is there. So it is structure is available, and I will show you how I have created it. So yeah, thank you for tuning in today, guys. I hope you will subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and wait for the next one. Yeah, thanks once again. Bye bye.